Hello and welcome, folks. Another league. Maybe another 5-0. Completely dominating the modern format with stupid green and white creatures. The best way of dominating a format. This deck sure is something. This deck sure is something. Whew. Whew. Splinter Twin. Splinter Twin. Opponent moves to 6, but they're on the play. Let's see what they're up to over there. What are you up to over there, opponent? What you got for me? What do you have for me? Steam Vents. Tapped. Oh, I guess I actually made one change for this league. I've actually cut the Governing Township for a 5th basic. Everything else, I think it's the same. Yeah, everything else is the same. Don't bold me, bro. Frank, come on. Come on, Frank. Don't helix me, Frank. Frank, we're friends. Ugh. Frank's helix me. Let's play this. The reason for playing this is if my opponent goes 3 fairy and then a top deck exactly apparition, we can actually cast it. Exactly apparition? Ugh. At least we're not alone, right? Company. We got company, right? Get it? Damn. Show me those counter spells. No counters. Just bought some one-offs I needed for the deck. We believe in you. Yo, I don't make myself responsible if this deck ends up sucking, okay? I just want to make it very clear, it's not my fault. If it turns out that this deck is bullshit, it's not my fault, alright? As long as we get that out of the way. That card is scary. Oh, they may be playing the deck that I was playing the other day, where I went 10-0 with the deck. Yeah, they're totally playing the 4-color control deck. Yeah, that deck is messed up. That deck is messed up. I love it. Yeah, this has to be the 4-color control deck. I think we're picking both of this, and am I exiling Omnath? No, I think I take care of Jace. We get value from Raminap. I guess I'm playing this. The British did every wrong. Thank you for the follow. Feel of ruin. Yeah, this plays around the Wrath better, I think. And we get our guaranteed value, which is no. which is not a minor thing. So they probably have Cryptic, so we probably gotta watch out for that. Definitely not blocking here. You got me. There was an interesting argument for chomping with the Skyclave, so my opponent gets a 4/4, and then if they Wrath, they destroy their own 4/4. But I think that this is just better. Path, my Reclaimer. They can't Wrath me here. This seems very good for me. So they're gonna pass the Dryad probably. Sure. I mean, this means that they're out of gas though. One card left in hand. Now if they attack, I'm gonna chomp with the Skyclave. Because the 2/2 on their battlefield doesn't matter pre-Wrath, and then it might matter post-Wrath. Yep. Oh, that was just a suicide attack? That's weird. Okay. So I guess I go after the white sources actually, right? They have a red source. We are doing the thing. Oh, I should have played a Scavenging News. Whoops. Good stuff, good stuff. Yep, let's go with this. Yeah, easy practice squad. That was the starting point for the deck. Cactuso Wismok, thank you for the follow. Good old green white Ponza, exactly. The $1 million laugh, yeah, it's good stuff. I enjoy that. So results on Twitter. Yeah, it's been. I've been getting farming that cloud hard. By the way, the pronunciation was Bant. Oh, sweet, awesome. So best top deck, Elvish Reclaimer. The cloud farming is working. Hell yeah. Successful cloud farming is like the best kind of cloud farming. Ren is good. Ren is good there. Did they get a Misty? I think they got a Misty. Yep, they got a Misty. Ren honestly feels unfair in that deck. And they're playing Sandbar? Wow. Bolt? Cycle Sandbar. Better have an answer, opponent. This deck is absurd. I can't do it. I try by watching years like watching Cirque du Soleil. Thank you so much. Thanks, Jason. What's the up arrow next to the score? It means that I'm up a game. It means that I am up a game. Stonks. Yeah, that's exactly what it means. Bathing me? You're so kind, opponent. So nice of you. And now Reclaimer is a 3/4, so if they want to answer, it needs to be Path. Just gonna take a bazillion damage here. Your knight skills are so good. What's the best advice? What to fetch first? It is just so matchup and board state dependent. Like there are no absolutes. It's just like Primeval Titan. You basically have to figure out what's the most important thing. Whether you want to be, whether you're supposed to be attacking, whether you're supposed to be growing your knight to play around some form of removal. So if we find the Dryad, I think that we basically are gonna win. Don't tell me we're gonna get Spell Pierced, because that would be devastating. There's no way they have Spell Pierced against me, right? Just no way at all. They're just gonna, yeah, just gonna cycle looking for force. Man, I would really like to play a tracker here, but I think we have to go with Revoker plus Scavengers. Oh, that Winas, I love that these are a bunch of wing-white cards. I love working well. Yeah, exactly. All my decks are the same. I never reinvented the wheel. All that I ever did was just like put Elvish Reclaimer alongside Flaxlands of Trocaire, play a bunch of lands, and then fill in the blanks. That's all that I did. That's all that I ever did. So I think I'm gonna eat the Helix and the Path to Exile here. Jace. How has 7 fetches felt with Knight? I wish I had more. I wish I had more, but like it is what it is. Where is Astral Ren? Yeah, I've been wasting my time with playable decks instead of playing Astral Ren. Silly nonsense. Silly nonsense. They play the land already. So even if they bounce the ooze, that means I don't get to attack. Yeah. But I still eat all of their good stuff. So their Ren is not as... Oh, opponent. Why did you need to get so greedy, opponent? Why did you need to get so greedy? Do I have to play Reclaimer here? Or do I play around Wrath? I think I just pass. You're a god, not a player. I mean, my opponent could have just ultimated Ren. Why didn't they ult Ren? Actually, I can't stop them from having their stuff, so I'm just gonna eat the Lonely Sandbar so they can't keep cycling around. No, we just answer that. Let's not attack our opponents, please. It's not the kind of thing I want to have going on the chat, please. Bone Daddy, appreciate it. Did they get a land back? What did they do? Okay, they got Flooded Strand and they play it again. I'm playing around Wrath. Like, my opponent for sure has a Wrath somewhere, so... What's up, Spider? How's it going? Yeah, for sure. That, well, I know that it wasn't ill intended, but you know. Got back Scalding Tarn. So if I attack with Reclaimer, I think I have to though, right? Opponent's just gonna chomp with the Snapcaster. I'm gonna play Revoker, and then I'm just gonna play Knight. Hold on to the land in case we draw Tireless Tracker. Counter draw. So it would suck if my opponent has an answer to this Revoker. And they do. That's rough. I don't see any path, but I do have access to Bojuga Bog. It's possible my opponent just double helixes this Reclaimer though. Oh, or that. That's also an option. The Natty Bog could be interesting. There's a Tarn that we knew about. Natty Bog would be actually very hot. If we Dryad, we win. Yeah, Dryad would be very good here. But now my opponent has Infinite Cryptic, so I'm just gonna pack it in. Like, it would have taken like probably like 10 more turns for this game to be over, but like I'd rather just start playing the next one. It seems like my opponent cut their Omnats, which is interesting. I think I don't want to change anything though. Mind Sensor maybe is better than Revoker. Nah. Will War the Titan be an FGO? I hope so. I definitely hope so. Will War the Titan is meh. The rest of the deck is new cards. I disagree. I think that it's great. This hand's good. Revoker is so awkward versus every removal decks. It is. I agree with that for sure, but you know, sometimes it's just fine. Maybe I should be playing around. I guess I can't play around Gust. And if I'm playing Gust, I'm probably shuffling this guy anyway, so. Opponent can path me if they want. Look at my opponent's Ren deck, right? Not bad, not bad. They do have Gust. Okay, that's perfectly fine. I guess I'm getting a Ghost Quarter. My opponent has Field, so I'm not particularly interested in... I'm not particularly interested in getting Valakut just yet, you know? Unlucky. Knight has a right to Modern. He kind of has, honestly. It's great. If you want to path me opponent, I'm super into it. They're gonna field. Yeah, they're gonna field. I should have gone to planes there so I can purge. I don't think so though. That's perfectly fine. Okay. Things are happening next turn. Things are happening next turn. Field is a slow fetch land. I think that's a misconception. I've heard people say, yeah, but field, you know, field is basically like it's basically a mana fixer. It's just like, that's just not how Magic works. That is not how Magic the Gathering works. Unlucky. Very unlucky, honestly, if you ask me. I dare to say extremely unlucky. Play field as fixer vintage cube. I think it paired up against mono red and mono white. Yeah, exactly. Oh, like you just don't have the time. Like you need like blue, white, white, and then you have like field, field, and then you're getting attacked and you can't draw into your like it requires like the tempo hit that field represents is just huge. Did they just bottom a Dryad and there was another Dryad on top? Like, what was on top? I totally forgot. Didn't see what was there. Field lost a lot of its power when Manlands got pushed out of the meta. Yeah. I think that by design, Field's power was always overstated. In my opinion. In my opinion, Field's power was always very, very overstated. Tap draw. Okay. So I'm just doing this to basically fetch. Just a weird fetch land. Okay, we'll probably want to keep that one. Now the question is, do I want to run into a Wrath? I guess a Wrath is not unlikely at all, actually. A Wrath is super, super likely. With my opponent just JCing and then plussing with the fairy. Remember when Crumble to Dust was going to answer Tron? Yeah, I remember that people were playing Warping Whale to counter Crumble to Dust in Tron at some point. Honestly, it's just hilarious to think about nowadays. So Insult, yeah! I actually have cast So Insult in the past. I have cast So insult. Ren. Well, that just gets purged, so it's no big deal. Getting back Scalding Tarn. So I guess they're gonna do like Cryptic. Well, maybe they just sweep here. That's suspicious. Draw step Wrath. Yep. I think I'll follow Hop Hunter. Just Courser Dryad, right? Remember the commotion with Soim, Backs, in Betrayer? Yeah. I'm gonna Wrath again. Set stop on my upkeep. Fuck off. Love to see it. Tight play. It happens so often, man. It's so crazy. I know that it's not a bug or like whatever, right? But it happens so often. Just gonna gust my Dryad. So I guess I want to put this on top. Mostly because apparently it's very threatening to my opponent and they don't know that I have a second one in hand. So maybe they will spend their turn. Maybe they will spend their turn plussing Jace instead of brainstorming. Though I mean, I guess they do have 7 cards in hand. So also they can just shuffle with field. Blech. I'm gonna leave those both basics in the deck so I can get them with Ghost Quarter. Potentially get some triggers. I think we're about to lose here, yep. I shuffle this away. This is literally my last copy of Dryad. How crazy is that, right? I fetched on my upkeep to not draw a forest, and I got the forest. I fetched to not draw the Dryad, and I drew the Dryad. It literally happened back to back. Crazy. I mean, up until that point, I still had outs, right? I could have just drawn a company, and honestly, the companies were kind of not so kind to me. I really wanted to find, like, we had 4 apparitions that I was trying to draw towards, right? Like, if at any point we find an apparition and we kill the Jace, we're just looking so much better. But we just couldn't find any apparitions. I don't think I'm still on the trophy board. I'm 2 off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm 7th. I should just dropped, right? Like I lost my first match. Just drop. Can't even trophy. Can't even trophy. What does Idutra play? I know Giovanni some burn and Piganti, some whatever combos today. Well, what Idutra was doing is there was a bug at some point. So the majority of Idutra's trophies were gotten by abusing that bug. I think I'm shipping this. Yeah, this is a lot better. Yeah, I was telling Grant that I was about to read. He wrote an article for fire, too much fire. He wrote an article for draftsim.com, and I was about to read it later. No, there was a bug right after they fixed the cascade thing. There was a bug that made it so if you had adventure creatures in your deck and you would cascade, you would naturally you would be able to cast for free all of the adventure creatures that you should cascade through. I think I'm just doing Knight plus Reclaimer, because Grant likes to play like some Karn decks and stuff like that, so I don't care too much about the Teferi, but I would care about the Karn, so getting rid of that seems a lot more important than getting rid of this Teferi. So he seems to be playing some Bant. Honestly, I've seen him play so many. Yeah, he was playing like a Bant, like Stoneblades thing at one point. That sucks for me. So I guess I want him to play and equip, and then we can eat the... We're gonna discard the forest, and then we can eat the sword. Mystic Sanctuary in Old Border, Mystic Sanctuary Bound in Monk. Okay, so that's 4. Discard this. They untap their lands. I want Sanctuary back? No, thank you. I think we're fine. Mombuli Acid Moss. God damn it, Grant. You're just fucking crazy. Yeah, main deck Acid Moss. Just gonna get rid of the sword. Now I'm gonna kill the Teferi. The question is, do I swing for 8 to clock? Or do I activate Reclaimer? What does Reclaimer do for me? Nothing really, right? So I think we're just going to 8. Without the Dryad in play, Reclaimer doesn't really do too much. So I'd rather just 8 him. Put him on the clock. Plow under. Yeah, I was saying that he likes to play like some Karn nonsense, so probably gonna go with Instant Bridge here. So if we find a company or Dryad or Apparition are the cards that I'm looking for here. Dryad or Apparition. Ghost Quarter. Not quite. Imagine he's gonna coding here. That's cute. Do they get a 3/3? Oh, they don't. Okay. Well, you got me. Just gonna get a fetch land. Dryad. Apparition. Courser. It's smart how he's holding a card in hand so that he can swing with Noble Hierarch. Ghost Quarter down. So I don't think knight does too much here, so damn it. I don't really have that much going on left. We have exactly one planes that we can fetch there. Kind of running out of time. So I think we have to draw a Dryad or a company or something like that this coming turn, because starting on the following turn, Karn is going to start to be able to destroy our lands. I guess ramming up also wouldn't be the end of the world. He minuses Karn. No blast zone? No. We played against 4-color control. So that makes me think that he has a second copy of Karn. Yep. And that's obviously bad for us. Probably don't need to explain why that is bad for us. So he plays decoding, minuses on my Balakut. Do you ever pop into another streamer's chat using an alt account so no one knows it's you? No. Why would I ever want to do that? It's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. Acid moss, what the fuck, man? Definitely missing Canopy here. Imagine if we had access to Canopy, how different this game would look. Dryad, where are you? Dryad, Skyclave, where are you guys? We consider running select distributions. I like them in a very similar deck. It's yeah, I'm never no. That's not something I consider. I don't think that makes any sense. Every non-creature deck and every non-land deck that you play is making your company's worse, right? What is he gonna name? Reclaimer, probably? I mean, I'm not gonna preemptively sack the Valakut, right? How I consider Alarm Skull? Didn't I literally just finish that sentence? Maybe I'm mistaken. No! No! Not that one! No! That's brutal. No. Grant, why do you do this to me? It's not okay, dude. It's not okay for you to do this to me. Okay. Okay, this is the last turn, so I don't care about any... I'm just gonna get fetch lands just to shuffle in case there's not a Dryad on top. Okay, that's a good one. Does that win? I think that wins, because that exiles the bridge, and any 2 creatures are lethal. Yeah, so that wins. Awesome. Man, we have so many ones, too. We had so many hits. We had so many freaking hits. That was wild. Revokers and Knight look both very, very good. And that's kind of it. I think I'm gonna follow the Servial. Dodgy plus one. I mean, we had all of this win the game on the spot. All of this win the game on the spot. All of this look at the top 6 cards to find any of these 8 cards that win the game on the spot. So I think that our chances were pretty damn high. Our chances were stellar, kind of, I would even say. We had really high chances of eventually getting there. Let's do the math on that. Alright, Sadness. I don't even know how many cards I had and how many shuffle effects I had, but like, I'm pretty sure that I had some pretty high chances. Baby Tef is kind of annoying here. Nice little time walk. Let's draw a card. I'm a statistician. A friend was 110% to draw any out there. Thank you, Annihilator. Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. Have I considered Primeval Titan? God damn it. I feel like I'm getting got here. Is it fair to say that I'm getting got here? So I'm gonna play Revoker, naming Sword of Feast and Famine. Have you ever considered Oracle Mordaya? God damn it. When is the meme gonna be over? Never mind, I don't want the meme to be over. Let's keep the meme alive instead. Not bad, not bad. How about this? Not bad, not bad. I think I'm gonna activate right now. Because we get to kill the Scavenging Ooze. And after killing the Ooze, we get to clear the Teferi if my opponent doesn't do anything. He could just have a path to exile, of course. He doesn't. If you consider asking wishes, they would let you company into prime time instead of 2-3 mana creatures. That sounds reasonable, right? I think that we're grinding him down. Slowly but surely, we are grinding him down. Like he has to go get needle now. Yep. This is basically a forced play. He needs to needle reclaimers, otherwise he just dies to the reclaimers. Which means that we get to clock the Karn very effectively. And now we have perfect information. His last card in his hand is a sword. So let's do 1, 2, 3. We get another look-see. Library doesn't even want to stay in place. That's how far ahead we are. Grant is great. I love Grant. Could there have been a better company hit? Yeah. Could there? Yeah, Raminap. Raminap would have been better because Raminap is just infinite triggers. Raminap is just good in this deck. There is the Ghost Quarter thingy that you can put together against Strong, but like Raminap is just legit good in this deck. Like Raminap very often just represents infinite land drops. Have you ever considered not getting 80% win rate? Some opponents appreciate winning sometimes. The problem with that, I thought about it. And I mean, it's interesting that you bring it up. I've thought about it, but the only issue that I have with that is that means that I don't win as much. So I think I'd rather win more. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't mind to be corrected, you know? Meant to ask earlier, but since you've already qualified for Modern more already, are you playing a different format? Yeah, I'm gonna be playing Legacy, and I'm gonna be playing Limited for sure. The 20% is me being humble. One lucky opponent gets to win every time I play a league. Yeah, exactly. One lucky opponent chosen at random shall win a league. That's just poor sequencing from my opponent. I know that this Reclaimer is gonna die, but I'd rather make my opponent use their mana instead of to kill the Reclaimer instead of using it for something else, right? They do know all these apparitions. All of these 3 cards are just known by my opponents. Any interesting Grixis control and Legacy? I mean, I'm gonna be playing Green White Reclaimer, just because, you know, I play what I play. Um, but yeah, I've tried Grixis in the past. In fact, I think my first ever Legacy 5.0 was with the Grixis control deck, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong about that though. Land would be awesome. That sucks. Land? Well, I mean, it's not like I play 26 lands in this deck, right? Oh, wait. If Classic 2-1 for Grixis control becomes good in Legacy again, I might legitimately buy the bulks. I think that it is legit good. Bolt. Please don't bolt me. That one. Out of here. I'm looking with the knight because if my opponent has a push, it's already, the revolt is already online, right? This card is just bad. Just a bad card. They found a bolt. So anticlimactic. Of course. Of course, one draw step below. Alright, at least we have a great sideboard plan, which is just cut the bad cards, play good cards instead. Can't ever go wrong. I guess my opponent's playing Jund. So... because if they're playing Scourge, maybe I'm interested in playing Knight of Autumn, but it's also possible that they aren't. Let's split the difference a little bit like that. Bog could be good. I don't think so. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, you can find yourself in scenarios where you would like Bog, but I don't think it's better than the other cards that I'm playing. Oh, okay, so I guess they're playing Blood Moon or Ashiok. Opponent did not reveal Lurrus, which often means that they either are playing Blood Moon or that they are playing some other 3-drop. They're playing John, so I doubt that it's that. So it probably needs to be... It is probably Ashiok, right? They cited his Street Wraith. It's a good play. Go full. I'm going for Operation there because I don't... like, my opponent could have Dismembers and stuff in hand right now. So if I play Knight, my opponent dismembers Knight, and then they untap with Goif, like I'm actually in rough shape, right? While here, like my life total is still in great shape. Very unfortunate draw for me. The fact that, you know, I couldn't find anything. Just got nothing. Just got absolutely nothing. That's a beautiful sight right there. Oh, that's delightful. That was fucking awesome. That was awesome. You got me. That cheese. So much cheese. So much cheese. So I think I'm just gonna fetch here, and the reason for that is so I can play Knight and I can make it a 4/4 if I want to. I have so much for being Vitality Temple. Please let it be good enough in Modern again. I mean, we've been doing well with it. So now that we know for certain that they have Goif, is this something I am interested in? Is that something that I want to do? Maybe over a Ghost Quarter? How else can we up the Natty Bog counter? Well, I certainly don't wish to draw it, I'll tell you that much. I liked Cycle Ratio a lot. Deck was so weak in certain matchups because all the removal you had was 4th path maintenance side. Yep. Definitely. I think that the deck has become a lot better. So I'm gonna play this tapped, turn 1, turn 2. Scavenging News. My opponent probably kills it, blah 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 blah. Never mind. Nothing I said matters. They should probably take the Dryad. They took a comedy. Okay, so that probably means that they have a second Thoughtseize. But L 300, think of that follow. What they don't have is another land. Yep. Yeah, I think I serve. Because if my opponent spends their turn playing a shadow, that means that I untap and basically win. Have I considered playing Divine Gambit? No. That's not a coincidence either. I don't think I'm particularly interested in playing Divine Gambit. So my opponent did not attack, but they also didn't block. Which is weird. So 2-1. Back on a winning streak. Just so everybody's very well aware that losing a match was just an accident. Losing was just an accident. We're back to normal, back to winning, which is where we do our best. 2 more matches to go. Feeling good about the deck. I consider playing Nyx Fleece Ram for the prowess matchup. No, I have not. Probably also not a coincidence. Have I considered adding another land? Yes, I did, and because I wanted to so bad, I just added it to my sideboard. My opponent says, hi chat. Thoughtseize. Flagstones off the top, easy. And the best thing is when you get Thoughtseized and the opponent lets your Reclaimer survive and you get Thoughtseized and they see that you don't have a Flagstones and then you play the Flagstones on turn 2, like your opponent just knows. Like they actually know that that's the card that you top decked. So the moral damage, the psychological damage is just outstanding. It's just beautiful. You get so much value from a single top deck, Flagstones. Called it! Yes! So easy! So easy! Oh, wow! That was delightful. That was just absolutely amazing. No blocks. So if my opponent has Call of his command, they can kill my thingy here, but I think ramping is just too important. Okay, I have to regain my This is a serious stream, okay? This is a serious stream. We don't mess around on this stream. So they kill this, and yeah, I guess you can have my apparition. I'm just not even calling it anymore. I'm just seeing everything as it comes to me. I'm just seeing everything as it comes to me. I'm just breathing the air, just enjoying the view, and things are just happening in front of me. I have no control over what goes on. Things just are, you know? Things just are. They just happen. Okay, now that we have slowed down and we have established that this is a serious stream. We don't mess around here. What am I cutting? Probably Ghost Quarter again, right? That was probably like my favorite success of things that happened. Succession of things that happened in a long time. What a delightful match. This is just top tier content right here. All of you folks came here looking to be delivered some top tier content. And hopefully, this is good enough. Hopefully, this is what you're here for.
Surprise, motherfucker.
The Prophet. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My opponent killed my reclaimer, okay? So it's fine. It's not a big deal because my opponent killed the reclaimer, so we're good. Okay, so those were bad draws, okay? Those were just bad draws. Those were just bad draws. So the universe is like, everything's back where it needs to be. And I think I'm just gonna pass this Goif this turn. It's a terrible tempo play, right? Like, we're spending 1 mana out of our 3 mana. I'm ramping my opponent, but I am trying to delay the game for as long as possible. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm trying to delay the game for as long as possible. This is actually good for me, because now I can get value from this ramming app. So even if I don't find... Like, if I find a white source, I'm just gonna kill the Lily. But even if I don't find a white source, I can just play ramming app and get guaranteed value from it before it dies. White source would be better, though. What is the next card that I put on top? I mean, I wanted to find a white source and I didn't, so clearly everything is fine. Alright, I mean, that was my opponent cheating, okay? That wasn't me. Okay? That wasn't me. That was my opponent just figure out which card they wanted to draw, and they did. So everything's back to being okay. Company? This is really interesting. What do I kill, though? I think I killed Liliana. And then I pass the Goyf. This is bad against discard spells, because like actually the Goyf represents a bigger threat than the Lily, but this is bad against discard, but like with the info that I have, this is just better overall. I'm planning to build a Titan. In your opinion, what is the best build right now? Whatever I've been playing lately. Just go on my YouTube and you can find all the bots there. Yeah, so now the company? Coco. Ghost Co Quarter. That's what we got instead. Okay, we're dead. Okay, this time around my opponent was the Laxac, okay? So balance has been restored in the universe. We're fine. We're fine. Now we can go back to luck sucking ourselves. Let's do that. Big fan of Adventurous Impulse in Tamulet Titan. I'm a big fan of memes. So I'm a big fan of memes. Adventurous Impulse is a meme. So ergo, I am a fan of Adventurous Impulse. Okay. I see what you're trying to say, April. That makes sense. Buff on SC, thank you for the follow. Alright, the deciding game against Boomer John. I'm gonna fetch Shock on 1. We need double white for Operation. Like, we actually potentially lost the game because I couldn't find double white for the Operation. Like, if we had found double white for the Operation, I deal with the Liliana I turn earlier, we might have been in significantly better shape. So they're playing F-Boss Sakapa? No. Fuck that. There are memes and then there are meme mistakes. Those are memes that are mistakes. That's what Sakapa is. Goifo. This is a free attack before I use my mana, but it's not an attack after I use my mana, so that's obviously why I did that like that. Basic Forest, off of the Flagstones. And the reason for doing this that I'm doing right now is so my Knight comes down as a 5/5, so it doesn't die to a Lightning Bolt. It still dies to push, obviously, but my opponent already used the push. Maelstrom Pulse also kills this. But I still think it's the better play. You're gonna see a clip on Jack's Twitter of just, I'm a fan of Adventurous. Well, he already made a post like yesterday, I think, where he said Impulse is terrible or something like that. And I'm like, dude. Eat that. That's enough to kill it, so I guess we just let that go. I guess I'm gonna eat the Goif now to play around like K Command and stuff like that. I'm Bolt. Will I try Reclaim Your Annual again? Maybe. See how my opponent watches the stream and they're milling themselves with Ashiok instead of milling me for no reason. It's not working out for them, obviously, but like, sure, you get my right now. It's not working out for them, obviously, but they brought in Soul Guide Lantern. Huh. Okay. I'll eat it. They made themselves ghost. Yeah, probably not, but exile its opponent's graveyard? What? Why? Why did they do that? Jesse Fuller music. Coming back for tier 1 stuff, second month in a row. Some money. Some money, you. Oh, some money for you. That makes more sense. Thank you, Jesse. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. Scoosy doing the Lord's work right here. Nope. No value for you. And that's why I ate the Tranquil Thicket, by the way, right? Obviously, they have the chance of drawing Ren. Bolt. My Knight. I can draw Tracker, so I'm just gonna untap here. I think going face is just better. Like the Peatland already, my opponent can't really use. They don't really have anything to get back with Ren. If they play Goyf, it doesn't matter. If they play Lily, it doesn't matter. So the only card that matters is Fatal Push and Maelstrom Pulse. Those are the only answers my opponent has to scavengers. Oh, like Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy, etc. Some of that stuff. So I think we're looking good here. Yep. GG's. How long do you have to play Magic before you gain the ability to top deck like I do? Is being good at Magic enough, or do you do something else too? That's a good question. So basically, Lucksuckness is a skill, and Lucksuckness gets developed over the years, right? Like the more that you practice Lucksuckness, the better that you get at it. And then you need to do some tests, some exams, and then you get your Lucksuckness certificate, and that makes you a Lucksuck. And once you're a Lucksuck, then it's rather easy, But you need to become a Lucksuck first. That's the challenging part. I had to study many years to become a Lucksuck. It was worth it though, because now I can use my Lucksuckness to go 4-1 and 5-0 in Magic Online leagues, and I get a bunch of chests that I don't open because I sell them. If I want to buy the cars to luck suck like a god. I don't think it's. I mean, at least I don't know other people's luck suckness experience, right? Like my luck suck experience is based on myself, right? Like I am a luck suck. It's not that the deck is what is giving me the luck suckness, or the cards that I have are the ones that are giving me the luck suckness. Is me as an entity. Me as the luck suck, you know? It's not so much about being a luck suck. You have to be the luck suck. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. I was trying to plug your TGG affiliate link. If you wanted to buy cars, though. I have no idea what I'm going to be facing here. I'm assuming mono red. This hand seems okay against mono red thanks to Corsair. It does have some mana issues, of course. So I'm going to try to see if I can navigate those mana issues. Oh, it's Ponza. Well, this is a deck I have not seen in years at this point. I could have played Flagstones there to kind of set up a turn 3 Corsair. I don't think that's what I want to do. I think that having my green mana is going to be more important. Don't bolt me. Ugh, they bolted me. Don't moon me. There's no way I'm getting mooned here. Now this is a big one. And the big question here is, do I get Temple Garden? My opponent doesn't have Blood Moon. Otherwise, they would have played the Blood Moon right there. So I'm going to assume that they don't have Moon. So I'm going to play around getting my second green source. So I can, if my knight dies, I can Corsair and hope to spike a land. The Clothes will need to exile one of my lands here in order to make the knight smaller. Maybe they can bolt it. But if they don't bolt the knight, then I think we're going to be in good shape. And that reminds me of a great song by The Police called Don't Bolt the Night. And it goes like this. Don't bolt the night. I wanna untap and suck a land for value. Don't bolt the night. Aw. We can beat that. When are you dropping the rules of Magic CP? Gotta go with fun plugging your chat though. Thank you, Annihilator. Thanks for hanging out. I obviously got punished by the decision that I made last turn. It's probably fine though. So I think I'm just gonna company here. Because I can find Dryad, and Dryad just fixes all my problems. How about Dryad and Corsair? How about both of them? God damn it, Collected Company is a good fucking card, man. It really is a good fucking card. To be fair, Pat Chapin has made some pretty great Magic Limited. He has. I am a big fan of The Gathering. Big fan of Chapin's content. Oh, F. That is very bad for me, because that probably means that my opponent's playing the version of this deck that plays Luca. Actually wrote a song about mulligans. That's very sexy. Easy. So now that we got the easy part out of the way, which was to answer my opponent's magas, what else can we do here? Can we find land? Land on top, please. Never lucky. And we're really stuck on mana here. Also, this has Forest Walk, so I can't block this. This is guaranteed damage. That's so randomly annoying. Might do an Old Warrior Amulet altar for you, by the way. That would be amazing. Bolt Nitro carries in always all the time. Beautiful. So poetic. So poetic. Okay. They're always making mana. They're not just doming me for a bunch. Is that Luca? Because that would suck. Please don't look at me. Rootbound Crag. There's no way this card is playable in the archetype, right? All right. Gross my knight. Sweet. Prime time at home. That is prime time at home, exactly. Oh my, are we gonna find the land here? This is the Kriegasmest of Kriegasms. I think I would like to draw this operation. It's probably a nice to have card to have around. And now we can sack this. Yes. Temple Garden, tapped. Gain life, make clue. Sweet. Get flagstones. And we play another land. And another one. This doesn't trample, right? This has reach. Such a random keyword. So I guess this operation is just gonna chump block that thing, and then we win next turn. Yep, that adds up. So now even if my opponent has the Emrakul here, it just doesn't matter at this point. They can just get and play Obosh in the same turn. Yeah, that's what they're doing. If they right click attack all, they just lose. So they actually have to think about their attacks, and like, it just kind of doesn't matter. They just right click attack all. Sweet. Okay. So we're just gonna block here, and we're gonna block here. And they left green up, so I don't have to play around lightning bolt, which is very nice. Oh, that can't be blocked, so we're gonna block there. So we take 8, 10, 12. So we just take 8. Just take 4. Yep. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plains, Balak, face, yes, always yield. Sack here, Balak, face, face, always yes, face, face. Fetch, forest, face, face. These look good. I think we were bringing these in the previous matchup just because I want to cut my birds and my random nonsense. We brought in Dayside too. This is just such a beautiful curve. 4, 6, 20. Is this better than worse than Amulet? Is this a good enough answer for you? Dark PCK is just, it's a different deck. It's diagonal from Amulet. It's adjacent to Amulet enough. Comparing a deck that I've been playing for like 6 or 7 years to a deck that I have exactly almost 3 leagues of experience with, it's probably not something particularly fair. Still can't get almost 0 Primordial, holy shit. Yeah, it's pretty legit, right? Honestly, it's kind of sexy. I guess this hand is fine. Just gonna bottom one of these knights. Or do I just bottom the Dryad? I think I'm just gonna bottom the Dryad. Oh no! Yeah, no, I shouldn't have bottomed the Dryad. Okay, my opponent can't moon me. That's huge. Also, I am a Luxac. That's also huge. Forest, Reclaimer. Do you have the Bolt here, opponent? Because if you don't, you're gonna be in serious trouble. I guess they could have Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher would suck. Splinter Twin. Splinter Twin. Winning games of Modern. Doesn't matter what opponent does. We're gonna get him with Splinter Twin. What do you got, opponent? What do you got for me? Magoose. Why won't they ban me? I'm just so OP though. Is it okay to ban somebody just for being too OP? Is that a fair reason for banning somebody? Wow. First time that's ever happened since I started playing the deck. First time that's ever happened. It was bound to happen eventually, right? It was just gonna happen at some point. I got cocky and MTGO punished me. 100%. That's exactly what just happened. What the wow. They literally just grew my reclaimer for me. Also, they're missing land drops, so I guess I'm just gonna knight that thing. If I don't find a land. I guess even if I find a land. Yeah, even if I find land, I think I just want a knight. Plus reclaimer. Who's the beatdown opponent? Who's the Ponza deck now? They did get their value, right? Like they blew up a Fluxstone under a moon. It's good value. Let's try this again, shall we? Except this time we're gonna do things right. I just send everything here. If they want to trade Bone Crusher for Reclaimer, that's fine. I already have a Knight going, and if they block here, that means that they don't trade with my Reclaimers, which is also a good thing for me. My Wildmacadals wish they were this chunky. I mean, this guy, if you look at him, like this guy's more beefy than a cattle, right? So it makes sense for him to be a 3/4. Alright, the deck is perfect. I'm very happy. I am very, very happy with how this deck is turning out. I don't even know how, but it just works. Like it just comes together and it just works. So I don't think I have too much else to say. Just believe in Knight of the Reliquary. Knight is back, baby. Knight is back. Our only losses were to Mill, which I'm fine. I am basically condemned to Mill always having a bye against me. For matchup is Dayside against Heliod and against Blood Moon decks. But this deck is great. Like Apparition is just such a great card. Like it just does everything that we want. Everything that we want it to do, it just does it so great. Awesome. I love this deck so much. Is second Ramen better than third tracker? I mean, there's 2 trackers and 2 Ramen apps, right? So if your idea is to cut this, like for the record, we were playing 3 Dryads, 3 trackers, and I'm trying 4 Dryads, 2 trackers now, and both versions have felt fine. Honestly, the card that has been the most impressive has this one. Courser has been the most impressive card in the deck, in my opinion. Like, I've been very impressed by Courser specifically in this deck. Do we want 1 canopy? We had a canopy and we cut it, so... Honestly, I did like the Temple Garden better than the Canopy. I have liked the Temple Garden better than the Canopy. I don't discard that maybe we could play Canopy over another land. Maybe over... Probably not over the fetch land. In fact, I kind of wish that we had access to one more fetch. I would feel a lot more comfortable with 8 fetches instead of just 7. But like we actually need the amount of basics, and we actually need the amount of planes to work with the Flagstones. It's basically the Flagstones package that really pushes us into an awkward spot. If we look at how historically these decks were built, like all of these slots were just not necessary, right? So you had 20 lands, you could play 2 more Ghost Quarters up to 22, and maybe like 2 canopies over the 3rd Temple Garden or something like that, and you could just work. You could work just fine. It's just the problem that we're adding the Valakut and the Flagstones package, and like those just have requirements. It's just the way they are. They have requirements, and it kind of is what it is. Like you have to accept the fact that you need to play more lands, and you have to accept the fact that some of those lands need to be Flagstones, and you need to accept the fact that Flagstones require you to have more planes, and that's just the way it is. Just accept it and move on. not too much to work around it, unfortunately. But yeah, the deck has felt good. The deck has felt super good. I don't know if I'm getting too lucky, or if the deck is just, the deck is new and it's being very kind because it's new, or I am just getting impressed by nothing. I don't know, but like it has felt very smooth overall. It feels like for example, I did miss the 3rd copy of Tracker when we played against the 4-color control deck, right? Like I was games 2 and 3, I never found the card advantage engine. Like I was desperately looking for some way to draw cards, and I just never found anything. So having access to a 3rd tracker would have been great in that kind of matchup. And Dryad is not as good in that matchup specifically, so God damn it, do I have to build this now? Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Only own 3 Flagstones. In paper, is it cool to run this with 3 or eventually get the 4th? Yeah, I mean, you could just run it with 3. You probably want 4, but... Are you suggesting I'm in the deck honeymoon phase? Yeah, though, I mean, to be fair... Like, when I came up with the whole Titan Vial shell, I also felt like there was something there, right? Like I didn't get excited about like Astral Ren or like all of those decks. I didn't get particularly excited because I knew that they were just gonna be like silly decks that I liked and that they were fun, and you can play a league and maybe go 3-2 or 4-1. Like these decks have felt like actually good. Like with Titan Vial and with this deck in particular, I feel like I am like my opponents are doing powerful stuff, and I'm just doing more powerful stuff than they are. So that is the nice thing. And I think that this is a huge piece of the puzzle. The fact that now Collected Company can potentially find as removal is just gross. This is something that the green-white Value Town decks from before just didn't have access to. Like those decks were just forced into playing 4 Path to Exile in the main deck or something. And it was terrible when you drew it, but you just had to, because like there were matchups like Infect or whatever where you just needed to find your removal or you were dead, and you kind of had to cross your fingers that you found your removal. Of course, because they had the removal, then cards like Eternal Witness make a lot more sense. So there's a little bit of that thing going on. But like in a deck like this, for example, I don't think that Ewit would make that much sense, because there's not that many things. Like the only thing that's going to the graveyard realistically is just the Collected Company. So I don't think that this would be a great Ewit deck. But the other deck was, because you had access to, you had access to the companies, you had access to the path, and then to like Ghost Quarters that you would use aggressively because you could. So yeah, so there were like multiple reasons why the other deck played a little bit differently than this one. But I think that the Dryad engine and the Dryad what I'm supposed to say, the end game is not engine. The Dryad end game and the apparition to like remove your opponent's pesky permanents like Blood Moon and stuff. We have beaten main deck Blood Moon like 4 or 5 times at this point. We played against Ponza twice today. We beat them both times. We played against Ponza like last week as well. Like not last stream that I streamed this deck. I also beat Ponza 2-0. So like even those decks that should hose us, it's just like it doesn't matter because we have Apparition and we have access to like a shit ton of basics. So it just doesn't matter. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, and that's why I think that this deck actually feels like there's something here. It feels powerful. Like what I'm doing is actually very good. Like I'm playing the matches and I don't feel like I'm playing some like random silly nonsense deck. I feel like what I'm doing is actually powerful. I think it was key to get rid of the Stoneforge package. The Stoneforge package was a distraction. It just didn't make sense in the deck and it was just clunky and unnecessary. Reclaimer has been huge. Reclaimer has been huge. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how much we can expand on the Reclaimer package. Maybe we can throw a Bojuka Bog in there in the main deck. It seems really tough to achieve. Like when we're already playing a virtual 24 lands only. So just going down to 23 in order to fit the Bojuka Bog, and then the Bog takes the room of maybe a forest or something like that, and then you naturally draw the Bog against like burn, and you feel like an idiot. So definitely a big cost from playing Bog. Wow, that is hilarious, Nassif. I was literally about to raid you. This is funny. That is so funny. Well, welcome everybody from Nassif's stream. Bubonic Indie, thank you for the follow. And Matt Brown and Decky, all of you, thank you for those follows. I've been working on this deck, Nassif, which maybe you're interested. I remember you at some point playing and messing around with green-white style company decks. This one has felt very good. I have played 4 leagues so far, and I have played... I 5-0'd, then gone 3-2, then 5-0'd again, and now we just went 4-1. So, been doing well with this deck. I've been trying to basically polish the details and try to figure out where we can go. Yeah, like this is huge. This is just massive. Like this card is super underexplored in this archetype. This has felt absolutely ridiculous. What's the deck's name? Vala Company? That's hilarious. I kind of like that. Hey, Bubonic Indie, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Nassif. Oh, Nassif, welcome to the Primetime Stronghold, my friend. But yeah, like this deck has felt very impressive. I kind of felt like I wanted... The only loss that I had this past league. And Bubonic Indie, welcome to the Primetime Stronghold as well. Thank you, folks, and thank you in particular for the support. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. But yeah, it has felt very powerful. One of my losses was against For Color Control, and I feel like if I had found one of my trackers, I would have won that game very easily. So I'm wondering if I could. In the original list, I had 3 Dryads and 3 trackers, so I was trying 4 and 2. But maybe I wouldn't have access to the 4th tracker, to the 3rd tracker in the sideboard. So I think that there's so many things to try out. There's so many things to try out and so many things to tinker with and mess around with the numbers. I have really liked the Auroch Champions. This one's I actually have not been paired against any kind of spell-based combo, so I don't know. I have a couple of extra removal spells in the sideboard. The Knight of Autumns are maybe a little bit redundant. The Revokers are there mostly for the Heliod deck, but they also kind of work against the Tron deck, which I'm not particularly excited about facing. Yeah, the Reclaimer and Dryad engine has been completely amazing. Like I've been super impressed by this. Like multiple times you find like you play a Knight of a Reliquary and it's a 7/7, and you're just in a situation where if you untap with it, you're just gonna win straight up. But like, how is your opponent supposed to remove a 7/7? You can't bolt it. You can you can push it basically, but that's about it. Out of all the good removal spells in the format, barring Path to Exile, obviously, but out of all the good removal spells in the format, you're just like how do you deal with a 7/7? Like, Knight has felt very, very, very good. I've been super impressed by the card. But yeah, lots of tinkering to do with the deck still. I'm gonna probably be playing this deck a lot more often than I have, because I'm actually really excited about it. I'm really excited about it, and I want to make sure that I am tuning it. It has a Titan Vial feels, so yeah, I've been loving the deck. That's gonna be it for me here, but thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube, and I'll see you in the next stream. Bye bye.